they still gotta play us. Let's go, baby. Woo!
Hey, don't run that ball on the one Hubbard, showed you how that go down. Feeling like Santino, tell him we want all the smoke now. We ain't snooping that commercial, we don't put no smoke down. Plus we back and you can't hide, so it ain't nowhere safe to go now. And we always gon' turn up in that jungle every time. How we ain't gon' win when we loaded in with 9? Plus T just came in signed, so the city gon' be fine. Jamar say he open every time and he ain't never lied. Look at how we win at it, the size of the old line. Giving Burrow extra time should be a federal crime. Hey, we right back on that path again. Put the division back to the test, they won't pass again. Orlando and Trent Brown, that's the Tower Twins. Feel like we only getting better as we stacking wins.
And we stacking.
Jaceki in for 6, that's a gritty again. AFC North battles getting gritty again. It's Yoshi second year, we just brought Burton in. Vaughn back to ring some bells, get the cracking again.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole, and as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of some of the best wings around. I plan on going out there this weekend with my boy Corey Dillon. Sometime, I think it might be Sunday, maybe we're going to go check out Midwest Best Barbecue, get you some Dillinator wings. I know it'll be the first time he got to try them. I know my boy Robert, who's going to be on the show with me, he's heading out there. We're going to be enjoying some delicious wings. You can try the CTB wings, the Uno wings. It's a great, great place. And like I always ask you, if you have not checked out Midwest Best, why the hell not? Get out there, tell Tim and Nicole I sent you. Also, the show is brought to you by Meyer Windows and Doors. Check them out at www.cincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. And my West Side peeps, if you're looking for a great little sports bar to go check out the sporting events, I highly recommend Hail Marys. It's your ticket to the game. It's an awesome little sports bar right in the heart of Cheviot. Free parking, beer specials, food trucks, a big-ass TV screen. Great bartenders. It's an awesome place. Go check it out. Hail Marys, your ticket to the game. And as you know, we did it last night, but I just want to remind everybody, because next Tuesday, after we win and we beat the Commanders, and after Corey Dillon goes in the Ring of Honor, come to the Moreline Lager House. Join me from 6 to 8. I'll be doing my live show down there. They have extended happy hour. It is from 3 to 9. They have $5 drafts, house wines, and well drinks, and $2 off appetizers. And if you have not gotten your tickets yet, for this Sunday's Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell at Moreline Lager House, the pregame experience, I highly recommend you get it. It's 3 hours before the game. Pretty sure Corey's going to be there. It's $75, people. $75, open bar. Two of the best words in the world. Open bar. Plus, you get delicious food. I'm telling you, they had shrimp, they had crab cakes, they had high-end quality food. Of course, they had chicken wings, because that's what I like. Delicious food. Again, that's Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell at Moreline Lager House pregame experience. Go to all my social medias. Go to the Moreline House social media stuff, and the link will be there. What is up to everybody in the chat? You guys are blowing it up already. Let's see. Let's scroll up to the top here. Brad was first. Paul's in there. Craig's in there. Hunter's in there. Tony Blaze is in there. Brad says, "Wake up, Paul," because Paul is across the pond, so hopefully he's awake. Who else is in there? I think I got everybody. Yeah. Sorry, Tony. I got the alarm clock in there. My bad. I got to fix that eventually. Anyway, let's get to this thing. Let's see here. I think I'm going to go. I got two people. I got a California guy who's originally from Cincinnati, and I got a guy from the pond here. Let's go to Robert, and then I'll get the superstar in for later. We'll save the best for last. Paul last. But we'll go to Robert here. What's going on? Hold on. Give my mouse down here to move, and I'll hit the button. And I got to go over here and hit this. And hold on. I'm getting there, Robert. I'm getting there. It's just my mouse doesn't want to work when I try to bring. Hey, there he is. What's going on, Robert?
What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. I am ready for Monday night. How about you?
Oh, I've been ready for weeks now.
Exactly. All right. Now, I know it's really, really late. I'd love to know what the hell time it is in England right now, but let's find out. Let's get to Paul. Hold on, Paul. Let's go. I'll just move my mouse over here. Maybe that'll make it easier. Paul, what is going on, my man?
What a delightful picture you've used of me there, Jeff. Thank you very much. Nice to see you guys. Thank you.
I figured you'd like that.
You stitched me right up there. Cheers.
There you go. That's it. Cheers to you, brother. Cheers. I got that picture. I don't know. It's off your Facebook or something. Last time you were here or something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't do you any favors and check beforehand, huh?
My agent needs to have words with you.
Oh, goodness. All right, so, Paul, Robert, I'll give this question to both of you. and this is how I personally feel of how the Bengals played Sunday and how it is moving forward. I think if they play like they played on Sunday, they can win the rest of the games. They played that good. Now, with that being said, we got some injuries on our defensive line. They signed, let's see who they signed today. Lawrence Guy. They signed him yesterday. So they added him to the room. Don't know anything about. I haven't heard anything about I miss Reader. About Rankins or BJ Hill. But what's you guys' thoughts on where the Bengals are right now and going forward? Paul, let you go first.
There's so much to talk about, isn't there, really? I think. I mean, first of all, how they came out so flat against the Patriots was just unbelievable, really. I think, by the way, cheers to Brad M. I am indeed awake here, just about.
What time is it there, Paul?
It's just after 10:30. So
you're just getting started.
Late to catch American
early.
content.
Still early.
Yeah, I mean, come on, the bar just opened now, Paul. Come on,
Exactly. I think we were all kind of like, what the hell just happened? It's happened again, and you'd thought they perhaps would have sorted that stuff out, right?
You would hope so.
This happens every year, but they didn't. And it was, but then again, I honestly thought with the Patriots game that we were just going to edge it. It was going to be an ugly win, and we're just going to edge it because the Patriots weren't great. They played with real heart and real kind of stoutness on defense, as we kind of knew they would, right?
Right.
But we were, if Gesicki catches that touchdown patch, which actually he did, but the NFL now says.
Yeah, now they said Gesicki caught it, but doesn't do us any good now.
Always after the fact for us.
Right, exactly.
Right. If Tanner Hudson hadn't fumbled ridiculously, comically on the first yard line, then we would have won that game, perhaps by a point, but we would have won it.
Hey, a win's a win. I'll take it.
Do you know what? We squeaked that one. It was ugly as anything you like.
I don't think Kansas City's upset by beating us by 1 point. So
no,
it's still a W.
Yep.
And I think just I'll get to Robert. You can have your say in a sec, but I think last week, I think probably everyone agrees that we want. Well, me personally, I wanted to see a reaction. I wanted us to be competitive because I think we all knew that if we went into Arrowhead and played like we did against the Patriots, we were going to get absolutely banjaxed.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I was really pleased with the commitment and the game plan and the execution for the most part. But, we weren't quite sharp enough, I don't think, still to get there. We made some silly mistakes and they cost us in the end. But certainly we are, I think the modern phrase is that we're trending in the right direction. We're looking good. Joe Boy is looking much sharper, although I'm sure we'll get onto him in a second. Disappointed at being 0-2.
Again.
Really not happy about being 0-2 because it seems to happen every year. And I just worry because that's my kind of personality, Jeff and Robert, is that you can't keep doing this. Do you know what I mean? There's laws of averages here. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep getting to like a like the bye week in a bit of trouble, and then you know what I mean, and then just going off in this ridiculous run. So. Who is Cindy?
I don't know. I was curious about that. Crip says, "Hey, I think
obviously lots of viewers are disappointed not to see glorious Cindy. I've got a wig just behind the sign. If you want to stick that on and a dress in the.
I don't know.
I heard about Paul. I didn't hear anything about Cindy.
Yeah, I don't know what Crip's talking about, dude.
Bengals. I want to hear Cindy.
My tattoo. It's Cincy, dork.
Oh my God!
It's a Cincy tattoo. That's Cindy.
No tattoos, none.
I like you. I like that, Robert. It's cool. But so just in conclusion, I'm sure you're itching to come in, Robert. Really disappointed. I think there's something. I think that there's something obviously going wrong in the pre-season prep and approach to pre-season. Because it just keeps happening every year. Yeah. Really disappointed. We thought this was going to be an easy start to the schedule, and suddenly we find ourselves 0-2 with not a mountain to climb, but a small hill to climb. And the Washington game on Monday, I wouldn't say it's like a must win, but it's kind of
pretty much
in
is
that kind of little territory. It's approaching must win.
You don't want to go 0-3. Yeah, you don't want to go 0-3, Paul.
You don't. Exactly. Anyway, I'll shut up now, Robert.
Robert, what do you got, man? What's your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I'll bounce off what he was saying and kind of play a little bit of devil's advocate, I guess. I agree with everything he said too. But I was talking to Mike Eversole about this the other day, and we were talking about how we hate digging the hole and being 0-2, but it seems like, I don't know if it fires Joe up, it fires the team up. I don't know what's going on. I hate it. I'd rather be. I agree with Paul. I'm a let's get out of the gate fast, but I also want to peak at the right time. And it seems like, I don't know what they do. The off-season prep is it needs work or whatever it is, but they do peak seemingly at the right time, which for years I just was like, man, we'll start out 4-2, 5-2, and then in the off or in the end of the season. And now we seem to like hit that peak a little bit better. So the rough start sucks. I wanted to be at least 3-1, at least 3-1.
But dude, I said I was gonna be pissed if we weren't at least 3-1. I'm not happy about it. I mean, I'll be honest. But the thing is, what I did like, I liked that Jackpot Joey and Uno were fucking mad. They were mad that they lost that game.
Fired up.
And dude, to me that gets me fired up because I don't think you guys want to. The NFL doesn't want to fired up and more zeroed in, more concentrated on doing things perfectly, like that for Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase. They
Jeff,
do that, dude.
Why do you think, Jeff and Robert? Why do you think they were so pissed off on Sunday? It was obviously it's a last, it's a kind of a last second field goal. Those defeats really suck, right? But there seemed to be something else going on there.
I think it's because
of the refs. Was it because of Uno getting having to kind of be dragged away? What was going on there?
I don't even think it was that. I think it was. I mean, a part of that, right there. I mean, that has got to get to you, right? Where you're like, come on. But I think that Uno's got his own thing going on. He's fired up, but I think Joe was just fired up because he recognized how much they had outplayed them the entire game. Mm-hmm. The entire game. I know he was probably beating himself up over that fumble, and he's like, that's it right there, right? But I think that picture they keep showing where he's turned away. Oh, like you said, do you want a more fired up Joe Burrow? Yeah. I do.
I do. And the thing is, like, for me, the thing that I'll put it this way, the thing that pissed me off the most is it ended exact same way as the last AFC Championship game we had in Burrowhead. Same way. It was a penalty. And they gave him a chip shot field goal, and once they called that penalty, there's nothing you can do about it. And like I said, I'm not one that likes blaming refs, but when it's so freaking blatant, because on that play there were not one but two holds on that play. So that's the part that it's just it just gets mind-numbingly just irritated how they get every freaking call. And I'll ask you guys this. If Patrick Mahomes throws that ball up like that and it's going in the end zone and it's a quote-unquote Hail Mary, which is basically what it was, it just was in the middle of the field instead of the end zone, do they throw the flag then?
Oh, no. I mean, historically they don't. We've seen it.
Right.
A.J. Green catching a one-hand bobble as four people are yanking him down from the air already. You know what I mean? Like, nothing. Yeah. They just let you go.
Right.
Both of those penalties have had to be slowed down to kind of see the egregiousness of them.
You can't tell me if you watch that in real speed, you can't tell me that you could definitely tell that he was there that early. It looks like it was simultaneously with the ball. You can't tell me that. No ref is that good.
The announcers even said, they're like, oh, and the breakup. Oh, and the flag. It was like, right. You slow it down. Yes, he kind of got into the back of him or whatever. I'm not mad about it.
I agree. I think it was a flag. I just don't know if you necessarily had to throw it there because I'll put it to you guys this way. Cam Taylor-Britt first made one of the greatest interceptions I've ever seen in my life. But before that, in the first quarter, the one where he went over the guy, and I can't remember which wide receiver it was.
It was Rice.
Yeah, okay, it was Rice. That one, I think, was more egregious than the one they actually threw the flag on. So I'm like, if you let that one go in the first quarter, why are you not letting that one go in the fourth when the game is on the line? Why are you – because you throw that flag – that referee decided who won the game. Right there.
That's it.
Go ahead, Paul. What do you got?
Like Robert, I'm going to be a bit of a devil's advocate here. I think I agree with everything that you say. It was a marginal call, and at that time of the game, that crucial point in the game, you are making that marginal call. And I absolutely agree. There are inconsistencies all over the field for both teams. Let's be quite honest here, both teams. But there was 2 blatant, big, fat, juicy, big ball holds on that final 4th and 16 that were not picked up. Right?
Nope. Yep.
Yeah, I prefer to switch it. It's, whatever, you have to go with what the refs say. Unfortunately, you can. That's a conversation for down the pub. I think I want to concentrate why we went down into the red zone and only made 3 field goals. What happened when we didn't capitalize on the interception by Cam Taylor-Britt? We kind of fumbled. I didn't do anything, but
we all say it, Paul. We all say we.
Collective responsibility.
Right.
And Joe Boyd fumbled the ball, and it was walked in for a touchdown. So I prefer to focus on those little bits, those mistakes that we made, that I think actually lost us the game. Evan McPherson, mate, we love Evan. He's amazing. He's great.
He makes that extra point to tie game.
It's exactly. You don't go for 2 points on. To make it I think it was a 7-point game.
Yeah.
So
Joe Farsi on our post-game show, he mentioned that. Actually, he texted me that during the game and said that he should have.
So there's a bunch of stuff in this.
I was surprised.
Yeah, and I think there was also a punting situation as well. But so I think there was a bunch of when you go through an emotional defeat like this, you desperately want to blame someone, right? And I think the refs are quite obviously there to be blamed because there were some seriously marginal calls at the end of the game that really influenced things. Now, but I think going forward we've got to put that to the side because frankly every fan base will point to marginal calls that they think cost them the game or whatever. I want to focus on the stuff that we fucked up on and we weren't ruthless enough. I don't think we're quite sharp enough to ram home stuff. There was loads of great stuff that I hope that we get to talk about tonight because I don't want to be sitting here for an hour talking about the refs because it's boring. I want to see us progress, and I saw an absolute progression this week.
Absolutely.
I think Washington might be a different beast, and we'll get onto that. But do you know what I mean? There was a progression, and I think they played 80-85% a perfect game. And
if they would have played as quarter of as good against New England, they would have won.
Yeah, that's true.
Mate,
they would have blown them out.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that I really loved seeing, and this is a new wrinkle that I was hoping to see in this offense, is the 2 tight end set and throwing the ball to the tight ends. Eric All is a beast. He is, I think, one of the best tight ends that we've had, all-around tight end. Gesicki is legit. Sample, say what you want, but Sample is good at what Sample does. And I got so sick and tired of people saying, because last year we didn't draft a tight end, and we had one of the greatest drafts ever for tight ends. And they're like, Joe doesn't throw the ball to the tight ends. I said, bullshit. If you're open, Joe doesn't give a shit. He'll throw you the ball. You got to be open.
Joe Boy had quite a good relationship, on-field relationship with CJ and also Hayden Hurst.
Right? Exactly.
And we were always told that Zach didn't really, his scheme didn't really value tight ends, but now suddenly we drafted about 50, and they kept the roster spots open, which I think surprised a lot of people actually.
I didn't think they'd get 5 of them.
But Gesicki is as advertised. I think he's going to thrive. I think Joe Goodbury put on a stat, as he always bloody does.
That guy's kind of good.
He's annoyingly good. He's on course to hit 85 receptions. Isn't that crazy?
That's ridiculous.
Now, obviously, T's coming back, but
we'll see. We'll see when this guy gets back.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's tea time.
Yes, sir. And that's the thing, guys. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
No, I was just going to finish off, Jeff. I agree with you. Eric All looks like an absolute steal there.
Did you see that backside block he had on? Was it? I don't remember who it was, but it was just ridiculous. Oh, just stood him up, held his ground. I think Sands highlighted it.
I think it was on Karlaftis, actually, the one that you were talking about.
You're right, it was Karlaftis.
But yeah, if we can play the other thing that I liked about this game is that we were in and out of 12 and 11. We were sort of 12 personnel, a bit of 11. We weren't so reliant on shotgun. We were under center a lot more. The line was moving and more fluid. Exactly the stuff that we saw with Jake Browning. And I like this variety because I hate running from shotgun. I don't know about you guys, but I hate it. And I don't know why. It's probably an irrational hatred. But you know what I mean? There was much more variety. We are still a pass-first offense. That's quite clear.
And we're going to be. That's never going to change. It's
we do need to talk about the wide receivers though, because I'm slightly worried that there's not the depth. Now T should be coming back this week. Let's fingers crossed.
Should be.
Touch whatever material this is here. I'll say this is wood, but it's not.
I got wood.
Do you know what I mean? Oh, I bet you have, Jeff. That's a bit late, a bit early for that.
He took his pill at the right time.
Shh, you're not supposed to know about that.
Hey Keith, how you doing, man? Yeah. So do you know what I mean? There's lots to talk about, but T will have coming back will have a huge effect on Jamar's production, I think. And hopefully he'll be less pissed off. Well, not less pissed off, but able to channel it.
Yes. The other thing, Paul, I liked what they did with Jamar. They moved him around a lot. Yeah. That's what I was looking forward to a lot this year. And once they get T back, that's going to be more. And I liked it that they used Burton too. Now I think Burton is just going to be straight line speed for right now. Till maybe later on in the season, if he gets the playbook back down a little bit more, they might use it for. But at least Zach Taylor put him in, or pitcher, whoever you want to say, put him in the right position to succeed, and it worked. And that's going to be a weapon going forward.
He's got to scare people just coming out right now.
Right.
Question for both you and Robert. There are some players, right, that throughout history of sports and when you start following teams and supporting teams and whatever, that there are some players that aren't like amazing but have loads of potential in every sport, right?
Right.
And then, but they attract some sort of real following straight away. And Jermaine Burton seems to have done that without actually.
Oh, dude, he's a fan favorite here.
And also, from what we hear, not being, we hear the red flags and we see, but we also see the talent. Is that what it is? Is this kind of flawed?
I think
that we know that this ceiling is huge and we root for him and we want him to succeed, because I think that catch against Kansas City, and then when you look at Trenton Irwin's kind of separation stats and all the rest of it, and also Yoshibashi's stats in open field, he's fantastic in the red zone, but 2 catches for 7 yards, but 2 touchdowns, that's kind of insane. He's obviously a red zone threat, is Yoshi, and I think he'll be a decent slot receiver. But is Burton wide receiver 3 now, do you think? With that catch on Sunday, that one catch, did he prove that he's got the separation and the big play ability to kind of get in there as wide receiver 3?
I think he's got the talent and the speed and everything to do it. I don't know how many snaps he got that game. I have to look it up. But with them, I don't think they went to him again after that. I think that's the only reception he got. I would be surprised if he's wide receiver 3. I still think they believe it's Yoshi. But do
you think that catch might have accelerated his?
It might. Yeah. Well, it accelerated him to get more chances. Like, okay, we put you in this position. You did good. All right, maybe we'll add some more this week, and then add some more and see how he does. I can see that. Now with T coming back, I think Yoshi is going to be the main. Yoshi and Gesicki are going to be your main slot guys, is what I think. Yeah, and I think Yoshi is going to excel at the slot. I really do. And I love Trent Irwin. I do. I love that dude. But they got to get him in certain positions where he. Well, I'll put it this way: he can't make the separation, but he is always really good at making the contested catches, and he hasn't done that as consistently in the first 2 games as he's done in the past. That part kind of worries me, because if he's not going to get separation. He doesn't have that speed. He's not going to. He always makes the contested catches. He's got to make those catches, or they can't put him out there. They're going to have to put Burton, or they're going to have to put Yoshi out there more than Trenton. And like I said, I love Trenton Irwin. Go ahead, Robert. What do you got?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it helps speed up the confidence that the coaches and Joe will have in him, that he's going to win, he's going to get to the right spot, he's going to make the play when he's given the chance. I know he talked about it. I didn't go back and watch it. I've been traveling, but I know he talked about an opportunity he had earlier in the game where he ran, I think, a deep end or something that he didn't get the catch. I think I missed it somehow. I don't even know, but he didn't get the catch. And he was talking about that. Those were his two opportunities. So,
okay. So they did throw it to him again. Okay, I
think that one was before he got the catch.
Oh, okay.
But he, giving them those two. So if he starts to perform in those limited opportunities, and we don't know in practice, right? So if he's doing good in practice, I don't want to rush him. I want to get him on there as fast. I want to get him. I don't want to say I don't want to rush him. I want to get him out there as long as it's not going to be to his detriment, if that makes sense. Don't rush him out there and have a John Ross or something.
Yeah. And the thing is, Paul, what I think is Bengals fans here see the potential and see – it's kind of the way I think people are starting to get excited about Alt. You see the potential. You see where you drafted him at, and you're like, holy shit, we might have got a steal here. And he impressed a lot of Bengals fans in training camp and mini camp and all that. And that's where the excitement comes, because we've seen him do it. And now, like, people saw him do it, and I kept telling everybody to calm down a little, because he was doing it in preseason, but he's doing it against 2s and 3s. He did that versus the 1s. So that was more impressive. That catch was more impressive to me than any catch he's made so far as a Bengal, because he made it against their 1s and one of their best quarterbacks. So, again, because what I didn't want to happen to him is what happened to Chris Evans. I've been so frustrated with Chris Evans or the Bengals, because they won't play. They can't play him now. Obviously, he's hurt, but they would never play him. And when they put him in, he made plays, but they never put him in enough. And I don't know if he didn't know the playbook enough or whatever. But I just remember Joe specifically talking about Burton, like, yeah, he's very talented, telling him he said it out public, he's got to get in the playbook. That's where I think he's at. He's got to, because he doesn't know the whole route tree. I don't think they tried him at the slot earlier in training camp, and they took that away pretty quickly, that he wasn't getting, which learning to slot in the NFL is not the easiest thing to do. Especially if you've just been an outside guy, for most of your career, if you're fast, that's all they do. They tell you to go out and, do a go route and make a couple moves and miss somebody, and you're as fast and as talented as Burton is. That's what you live on. Now you're in the NFL, you got to really outsmart the guys and outwork the guys other than on the field. You got to do it in the classroom, in practice, all that stuff, so you run the right routes and timing and everything else. So that's where I think Burton is trying to get there. But like I said, to me, it's a good sign that they used him. I think they're going to slowly feed him, and hopefully by the end of the season, he could be our wide receiver 3. And that's the thing, is that kid, you don't want to throw him out there and, like Robert said, have a John Ross where he's out there and he's just lost, and he doesn't know what to do, and that just starts his confidence.
John Ross, bear in mind he's a wide receiver. Mm-hmm. He had a fatal flaw. He found it difficult to catch the ball.
Slight
that's
problem.
a problem. Yeah,
there's a slight problem.
I think the excitement over Burton just goes to show you too and not that these guys aren't athletic, but it goes to show you the lack of athleticism or straight line speed guys we haven't had in a long time. We haven't had, Chase. We got Chase, but most of it.
Do we have Robert? Do we have a bit of a problem with depth in wide receiver, or are you?
I don't think it's a problem.
Is exciting.
Well, you still got Chuck Sizzle that I still believe in, and they haven't even really used him a lot.
We've been speaking about wide receivers the past 10, 15 minutes, and one name we have not mentioned, which may or may not be telling, is Charlie Jones.
Right.
So,
he wasn't in there. There wasn't much time because he wasn't in there, but that to me that's it goes to the depth. I think that they couldn't get him in there. Now, there's a couple times I would have rather him be out there and try to make some of those catches that T.I. was trying to make, because I think he could get the separation that T.I. couldn't. But Joe really trusts Trent Irwin a lot. So I think that has a lot to do with it too. And
he trusts him so much he didn't run that one into the end zone that he could have easily ran in.
And there you go, Paul. There's another thing for if Joe runs that into the end zone, we win the game. So I don't want to go. I'm trying not to go back, but like you said, there's so many things that, and I think Joe. That's what I guarantee you. Joe's waking himself up in the middle of the night going, damn it, I should have just kept running, you know? But getting back to your question about the depth of the wide receiver, I think we have a very deep wide receiving core. I'm not worried about it. I will hopefully this is the end of his hamstrings for this year because this has been a career thing. He's had hamstring problems since college, and this is unfortunately something that he's always has to deal with. Hopefully this is it. If we have him, Jamar Chase, and however version you want to put it, Trenton Irwin, or excuse me, Yoshi Mosh, Burton, or Gesicki in the slot, dude, I think I'd take that wide receiving core against anybody, to be honest.
I just think T is going to have a massive impact.
He needs to.
Both the team and also Chase's production as well.
You can't double.
And I think with Burton, as much as, shall we say, the louder Bengals Twitter fans on social media and all the rest of it, you know, I think he will have a bit part to play this year. I think he'll come up with some really good plays because it's obvious the lad has playmaking ability and a bit of X factor.
Right.
I just think they need to. I just think it feels like the coaching staff are not fully bought in for whatever reason. Because I think Robin mentioned it earlier. We're not there practice every day. We don't know what's going on in the wide receiver room or whatever. But I do think that he's going to be an interesting watch, is Jermaine Burton. If he can sort his head out, if he can be consistent. Because I was saying at Alabama, he was the big fish. Well, not he was. He
was a big dog. Yeah, he was the man there.
Alabama's not a small pond at all. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the pros, he's a much smaller fish in a much bigger pond.
Exactly.
What I mean? So
you know what I do like is
to him to be consistent, be disciplined, and if he can do those things, goodness me, we might have a real player on our hands, right? We might do.
Exactly.
So we'll see. Robert, you wanted to comment?
No, I was going to say I just like that he seems after all the games and his opportunities and whatever, you know, even after the preseason games when he was doing really good. He seems to be pretty introspective and try to look at what he can do better in his game, which is what I like. You know, I think he could even be a little bit, you know, better on himself because he's like, I could have done this and could have done that. And I'm like, hey, you still did some stuff, you know, recognize it. But the fact that to me that he seems like he recognizes it now, you got to put the work in, and that's where we don't see it. But he seems like he recognizes it. He says the right thing. So that's part of the game.
Now let's run this up to the running game here. The first week I think we were not good at all running the ball. We got better this past week. We are never I should tell this to Bengals fans, we are never going to be a run first team under Zach Taylor. We're going to be pass first. It's just the way the offense is. But I like what I saw out of Chase Brown and Zach Moss, especially Chase Brown. I really think they're trying to put more packages for him. And what I can't wait to see, guys, is I want to see more bubble screens for him. Get him the ball like we used to do with Gio. Get him the ball out in open space and let him go. And that we haven't seen that as much as I thought we would already. But what's your guys' thoughts on the running game? Go ahead, Robert, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, no, I agree. This week was, I mean, comparative to the first week, light years. It was a big jump. They were hitting holes. Moss was hitting holes. They were getting some chunk plays. It just seemed like there was, you know, the holes were there for them to hit. So, like you said, we're not going to be the run sets up the pass or however you want to look at it for us. So we run to not pass every single time. So
we run because we have to.
Yeah, that's if not, they would just know every time. So
right.
I if we can do that, you know, what we did last week, and the Chiefs got a good defensive line too. So if you can do that against some of these teams and you can get the screens more, I want to see more of that. Get Chase Brown. He's the fastest player in the NFL last year. Let's get him out there.
22 miles an hour.
Let's get him out there and show that 22 miles an hour speed and let him, you know, and Moss too. He can do it, you know. So
yeah. It's no shade on Moss. I just think I think Zach or Chase Brown is going to be the I think just from the way it looked on Sunday that he's the guy that they want to see the more they think they have a better chance of having the more explosive plays. I think Moss is the more consistent guy, but Chase, you have a better shot of having that explosive that they're looking for. Paul, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, on our podcast Cincinnati, I kind of asked my co-host Nathan, we need to come up in our preview show, by the way, season preview show. We need to come up with some bold statements, and my bold statement is that the running game will be top 10 this year.
I like it.
I know. I even mentioned top 5, but I thought that's just being silly.
How much you been drinking to say that?
I know, right? Yeah.
And I'm the biggest homer there is, and I don't think we'll be top 5. But
I agree with Robert. I think we are a passing team first and foremost, right? But I do like this 1-2 punch between Moss and Chase Brown. The first game, we were Joe Boy was checking down like the check down king, really. But I think as things settle down, I think we'll see more of an attempt to be balanced. I don't know why the running game isn't kind of on fire as it is, but I also try and sort of speak to myself. Like if I say something slightly ridiculous, I try and bring it back internally, and kind of say, well, actually, we use the running game almost just to soften the defense up on the other side. So Joe Boy and then Uno and then T and Gizicki now and Yoshi and all those guys can kind of make hay. If you can throw, because we are using the play action a little bit more, and that was definitely a Zach Taylor, LA Rams offensive trait back in the day before he came to Cincinnati. And I don't think I think he tried to do it in Cincinnati, but the weapons and the players and the personnel.
And Joe isn't comfortable doing it too. That's another thing.
No, but we are doing it a little bit more. And I think if you do that a little bit more, suddenly the defense has a different kind of.
It just keeps them off balance. Yeah.
More stuff to think about. More stuff to plan for.
Right. Yeah, exactly. 100%. And so I think, if we can get the running game up to, we're not, as I mentioned earlier, I don't think we're quite there yet, sharpness-wise on offense, both passing and running. But I think as we get there, the running game will be used as a defense softener and as a defense kind of surveyor. We're like, how did the defense react to that? We can then attack them by doing this. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I do like Moss and Chase Brown as a duo. Well, I think my top 10 is a little bit ambitious, but,
Hey, Paul, we get top 10. We are definitely winning this whole damn thing. I guarantee you that. All right, I'll take some questions here from the chat here. Keith says, Ice, don't you guys think that with all the other weapons we have, if we play Burton and just have him run flies a post, it would open up the underneath stuff? Yeah, I do. I do think that would be a good thing. I
think with Burton, he's demonstrated that he can get separation and he can make. He just has. I don't know what it is. I don't think anybody knows what it is. It's this kind of intangible thing where someone just has a bit of an X factor that they can either get open, can get separation, or make the big play. Whatever it is, you just don't question it. Do they have that innate kind of skill to do that? And I think Burton might be that guy. So he's right. I think you just throw him in there, him, T, and Chase, and Gizicki on passing downs.
Who you gonna guard, man? Who you gonna guard?
This could be deep trouble. Could be deep trouble for the opposition.
So Paul, Andrew has a very hard hitting question here for you.
Go on then.
He said, "So what's the alcohol percent in the morning tea over there?"
Andrew, I am one of those weird. I am part of the minority here in the UK. I do not drink tea. I do, however, drink rum. I'm not sponsored, but there you go.
There you go.
Golden rum.
Hey.
So obviously the alcohol percentage is not high enough in the tea for Paul.
Right.
Not yet, but I'm starting to feel it. It's about, what is it? About 10 past 11.
Hey, we had somebody.
I'm ready to dance on tables.
We had somebody ask in the chat when you guys. I know you guys have a trip planned here. When are you guys coming here?
Yeah, we're. I mean, this is insane, Jeff. I had the great pleasure of meeting you and giving you a big hug last year.
You were down here. That's when we had Corey here.
That's right.
For the Bills game, that's the first time I met Paul.
Yeah.
there you go. So it was it's mad, isn't it? It's like being a fan for so long that I'm able to come out and to Cincinnati.
It's awesome. I love it.
It's awesome. It's entirely unexpected, and I love it so much. And I have to say, I don't know whether this will make you. I know, Robert, you're from Cincy originally, and Jeff, you are Mr. Cincinnati. So everyone that's come over on one of our trips. Actually, just rewind real quick for those who don't know. For the past 2 years, Bengals UK have hooked up with a travel company here in the UK called Touchdown Trips, and have a guess what they specialise in. So they got in touch and kind of said, Cincinnati is one of the only clubs that we haven't worked with. Do you want a trip over? And I said, absolutely. We've been asked about this for a little while. So if you can sort it out, then I'm happy for it to be a Bengals UK trip. So, it's true, Jeff. You are Mr. Cincinnati. You are so true. But yeah, so for the past 2 years, we've been over, and that to me, as a guy that supported the Bengals in the mid to late 80s, as a kid, I never thought I'd get this opportunity.
And you got to meet your favorite player last year too, which I thought was cool as hell.
Oh man,
DJ, that's my dude, man. This DJ,
we need to talk about Corey real quick before the end of this program, maybe a bit later. But
we got time. I'm always down to talk about Corey.
Just a little bit.
So it's been fabulous experiences both years. So the first year that we came, we went to the Bills game, as you know. It was the Panthers game, and then it was the Bills game last year.
Yeah.
So this year, this is a very long-winded answer.
You're all right. We got time.
For this. We're coming for the Eagles game.
Cool.
So again, last year we got to experience a night game. I'd never experienced a night game. So that was really special.
What a game.
This year we get to experience the whiteout game. So that's just unbelievable, right? That's just unbelievable.
The whiteout games are sick, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to figure out. Isn't it expensive now? You've got to get an orange outfit. You've got to get some random dude is starting a Twitter thing saying it's a blackout.
Do a blackout, yeah. Yeah.
It's not official, I don't think.
Not official.
And then on the Eagles game, it's a whiteout, so I've got to get myself a white outfit. And also, it's Halloween, so maybe there's a chance to combine the two,
like a ghost tiger,
a white ghost tiger, Robert. I'm already thinking about the backstory for that white ghost.
you know who you gotta get contact with. You gotta get in contact with Cap. He's all about helping people out with costumes and stuff. So.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely.
That's my dude right there.
If there's one guy that can help you get dressed up.
And Jeff, let me just say, your city, and Robert, your city too, has welcomed us with like open arms. And I think the beautiful thing for me, if I can use that word, is we come for the football because we're football fans, right?
Right.
But every man, woman, and child who's come, because there has been children on this trip as well, they've fallen in love with the city. They've completely fallen in love with Cincinnati. So I think that's down to you guys, the welcome that you've given us, and the city as well. So I just wanted to mention that.
Well, I'm glad you guys get to come, and as I said, it was awesome to finally meet you because I've heard you on the podcast, and I think I had you. I can't remember if I had you on before. I think I had you on after I met you. I don't remember. I've had so many people on this freaking show, but dude, it was so cool. And I remember that was the week and that Corey was in town, and he were doing an interview at this brewery, and I think Cap told me that you guys were in town and you were going to be down at Holy Grail. And we were busting ass trying to get down to Holy Grail. I was trying to surprise you guys with Corey, and you guys are already gone. I'm like, damn.
So just as a heads up, if anybody wants to come for a bit, and you too, Jeff, and Robert, if you're in town, I know that
I will be. I will be.
With you. Okay, that's cool, man. Because we're at the Nether. This is going to mean nothing to anyone that lives outside Cincinnati. But we stay at the Netherland Plaza, and we get into town about 10 o'clock at night, and our local boozer over the past couple of years has been O'Malley's, right? not the other one at the front, but the
back.
O'Malley's at the back.
I know
It
what you
feels
mean.
like more of a British pub than we've ever known.
Right.
So we will be in there on that Friday night from about 10:30, 11 onwards. And I know that's super late, but
I'll take that as an invitation.
mate, there's a beer with your name on it.
Oh, now you're talking my language. I have to give you a big old hug.
Come on.
Exactly.
Hold on. Keith in the chat has said, Paul from UK, go as the white Bengal tiger that attacked Siegfried and Roy. I love that backstory, Keith.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, no, we can't wait, Jeff. Honestly, I mean, it's, as I say, it's really something that I never thought I'd be able to do or could do. But here I am coming over to bloody Cincinnati. And let me just say, if I can plug what we do a little bit. We've just hooked up with a charity in Cincinnati because it's our 10-year anniversary this year, and we just hooked up with our Daily Bread in Over the Rhine. Which is a soup kitchen.
Yeah, I saw a news report of that here in Cincinnati about that. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, it's just something that I felt really strongly about, that if we're coming over it every year, then we would like to establish stronger ties or cement some ties with the city itself. There's no better way to do that than get involved with a local charity. So we'll be trying to raise, we're not Bengal gyms, so we can't raise sort of tens of thousands.
Nobody's Bengal gym.
Anyway. But we will be kind of going in for some in-person volunteering sessions. That's going to be part of the trip going forward. That's really cool and really important. But,
well, hopefully one of these years when the Bengals when the Bengals go back over there, hopefully I'll be able to go. That's one trip I would like to do is make a trip.
Mate, honestly, I think it's what do you think about these overseas trips? Because I think it's fairly common knowledge that the Bengals will. It's very likely that they'll be in Germany next year. And,
that's what it sounds like. I doubt I'll be going to Germany, but I got a better shot going to England.
But do you like all this overseas?
I'll put it to
stuff?
you this way: when they first started doing it, I'll be honest, I didn't like it. I'm like, man, this sucks. I gotta get up at what time to watch the game? Blah blah blah. But then I didn't realize
it's not just that, Jeff. It's taking a home game away from you guys.
That too.
Asking people to spend like a couple of grand to go over and watch that extra game, in a different country. I get it. I do get it.
I'll put it to you this way: I've totally changed my mind about this because I did not know that you guys even honestly, and I didn't know you guys even knew what football was. I thought your football was football. We call it soccer or footy, whatever you call it. I didn't know there were such passionate NFL fans, across the pond. So. Getting to meet you guys and see how much you love the Bengals and just getting meet you personally and having you guys come over here and everything to get you guys involved, I think it's awesome. And correct me if I'm wrong, you run the Bengals UK is the 5th largest fan base overseas.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Listen,
that's pretty good.
Jeff, I'm really proud of what me and the group have done over the 10 years that we've done. We're like the 10, as you say, we're the 5th most popular fan group on social media. What that means, I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to take that and hold on to it. But it's just been such a fantastic 10 years in terms of making connections to a place that just felt really kind of inaccessible and not, something that I would ever be able to go to or kind of, and just walk, I don't know. It's just really, it's still really quite emotional. Dude,
your trip last year, you got to meet DJ Reader and you got to meet the Dillionaire Corey Dillon. That's a pretty damn good trip right there in itself.
Listen, I have told people on this year's trip, do not expect that level.
That was a special trip.
Yeah, far too high, right? Yeah, that was mad. I wasn't expecting that at all, and it was brilliant. And what can I say? It was personally, it was incredible.
That's why I love those international games now. Like you said, Jeff, I was the same way. I was like, man, you're taking games away from people. I'm when they first started, I'm not going to be able to travel over there. I have to plan them now.
Right.
But seeing, like you said, the amount of fans that didn't have access to watching games or ever get to see one, and it's helped grow the game. There's more Bengals fans now, which is never a bad thing for me.
No.
So. And
Jump
now,
on.
you know, get to meet people like Paul and the whole group last year. It was amazing just watching everybody just being all walking around, you know, in the tailgating and everything. So it's awesome to see. So I don't know about Germany, but I definitely need to get over when we have one in England and have Paul show me around.
Exactly. And one thing I like too, Paul, is I love Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is the coolest city around, and I think growing up it's gotten, I won't say a bad reputation, or you know, not really. We're known as, you know, Cincinnati, small town, yada yada, which we're not really. I mean, we're a pretty big city, and it's a pretty freaking cool city. There's lots of people that don't know about Cincinnati or don't know the history of it, or have never been here and seen the museums and seen the river and seen the hills and going to see Kings Island and the stuff we got down the banks now and everything. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is very unique to this city that I'm very proud of, and I love it when people come here going, you know what? This city ain't that bad. I'm like, I know. So keep telling you,
as long as they just see the river, Jeff, and don't get
we can swim there. Yeah, we can swim there.
I'm getting stuck in and over the Rhine. I love over the Rhine. And,
yeah,
you know,
that's one of the original places.
I'm actually repping Spun Cycles from Northside tonight. Pick up Dominic from Spun Cycles if you ever need some cycle stuff. He's an incredible
and something
guy.
You would never know, Paul, is that 20 years ago, over the Rhine was an underdeveloped area that nobody wanted to go to. So
yeah,
the fact that you say you love it.
I know. I've been told constantly that 20 years ago, you probably wouldn't.
You probably wouldn't want to go there.
You probably wouldn't going to want to go there.
One thing I want to do sometime, Paul, is they still have and I got to find these tours for Prohibition. They uncovered the tunnels.
What, underneath, like up near Northern Row and just underneath the kind of tunnels there, right? Yeah.
And there's a bar that I've heard of that's under the city, Ghost Baby. I think that's what it's called. My niece was telling me about it, and I've never been to it. I think
that might be the Mockbee. You might want to see the Mockbee up.
That might be it. But I definitely want to go on the tours of the tunnel. I just think that like I love sports, but also a history buff. I love the history of Cincinnati, and that's something that is cool that we still have, and I like to go see that sometime.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures. It looks crazy.
I know this has turned into a Cincinnati tourist board.
Hey, I am Mr. Cincinnati, right?
Well, exactly, yeah. But no, it's just been an absolute. Honestly, it's just been an absolute privilege and a pleasure to come to Cincinnati and explore it. And I like exploring. I like going to kind of punk rock shows and, you know, exploring over the Rhine. And I went up to Northside last year, and Pendleton's amazing. And Mount Adams, I went to see the bar where Greg Cook used to eat every kind of day. You know what I mean? It's the little things like that really juice me up. So, yeah, as I say, everyone that comes... And our guys, actually, last year ended up on a pub crawl or a bar crawl around Covington.
Really?
We went to the Bearcats game on the Saturday, and I kind of called everyone and said, where are you guys at? And they said, no, we're still in Covington. We're having the time of our lives. And we're like, you know, yeah, whatever, just carry on. And then we went up to Rhine, guys, to watch the FC Cincinnati playoff game. And we had a fine old time. And then we all kind of congregated back at about sort of 1 a.m. at O'Malley's. So that's where most of our British guys will be, at O'Malley's, I would say. So
now, one thing, I don't know if I told you this before, but UC, where they play football in that stadium, they've actually been playing football in that same spot for 100 years.
Yeah, didn't the Bengals play a few games there?
Yep, that's where they originally started, in 68, 68 to 69, because the Riverfront opened in 70. So, yeah, first.
Let me just say, you see, I mean, any sort of college football that's really interesting for us as Brits. You know, it's a completely unique atmosphere. It's really interesting. So, and it's great to see. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but it's great to see the progress and development of FC Cincinnati, which is something that us Brits can really relate to. You know, but they've done an incredible job, right?
Oh, dude, I didn't know shit about soccer or football, whatever. I didn't know anything. The offside still drives me nuts. I still think that's silly, because I'm like, you can't. Anyway,
can you explain the offside rule, Jeff?
Well, you can't be farther than the defender, which is I'm
before the ball's touched.
Right. I'm like, well, then just tell them to run faster. That's bullshit. Like a fast break, we throw the ball anyway. It doesn't matter what I think.
No, I was a big soccer fan, and as soon as they came into the USL, I started following them. So when they bumped them up, I was there the first couple of years of. I went out and watched them play LAFC when they came out there first year in MLS. It was bad first couple of years, but man, they've come around.
Yeah, we just made the playoffs. We tied in the Hell is Real game, which I hate ties. Ties like kiss your sister. That's another thing. Sorry, I can't say it about soccer, but hey, it is what it is. I went to this spring. I got a chance to go to an FC game. Andrew Dawkins, who's a friend of mine, he's a WWE wrestler. Happened to take me there. He got to pull the sword out. They do a thing in the beginning. I got to pull the sword out. I got to go on the field and stuff. And we were in the Bailey. And Paul,
the pitch? On the pitch?
Well, in the Bailey, the end zone where they have all the drums and everybody. You don't sit. You stand in the Bailey, and you're singing and dancing. Paul, I wore the heck out. I felt like I played a soccer game. I'm like I'm gonna go back up here and I'm gonna have a couple more drinks before I have a heart attack. But it was so much freaking fun in the Bailey. I had a blast. I definitely want to do that again.
Good. I'm really pleased. Well, if you guys ever come over here, we're gonna have to take you to an English game because the atmosphere is a little bit more kind of intense, shall we say?
Sure.
Definitely got to see one over there. Definitely.
Yeah. A lot of people do, like American people that come over here, do really want to see, experience a British hockey. And it might not be the Premiership; it might be like the division below.
We won't know the difference. And I remember I was told a couple months ago that I have to come over there so I can get a proper pouring of a Guinness from you.
Yeah, I mean, you need to go to Dublin.
I've been to Ireland. I've been to Dublin twice, and that's where you go, man.
You know it. But yeah, we do try our best. But yeah, Dublin is the place to go for a little cheeky stopover. I think if you can do that. But should we get back to Bengals real quick? What do you think about the other side of the ball? I'm a bit worried about the defensive line. What do you
read my mind?
Is that like
that's so Paul? That was my biggest concern going into this season is the defense line because we lost your favorite player, one of my favorite players, DJ Reader, and we really didn't have a guy to replace him. Now with BJ Hill
not only
and
that,
Rankins.
Jeff, not only that. Can I just interrupt? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Not only that, it's the rum talking now. I apologise.
It's all right.
Not only DJ Reader, which obviously I've been kind of crying continually for kind of.
I was crying with you, dude.
But they got rid of his backup as well, Josh Tupou. Now, I'm not saying he was starting caliber, but I was saying he was a valuable
backup,
backup, a nose tackle. And, Sheldon Rankins, very good player, although he hasn't shown it yet. Needs to kick on there. Chris Jenkins, we don't know yet because he's injured. McKinley also, both my guys in the draft, really pleased they drafted him. But
we haven't seen them. They've both been injured.
Signed a dude who apparently is like a really solid pro, so that's
Lawrence Guy. Lawrence Guy is who they signed.
But we kind of knew going into this season that was going to be a weakness because DJ Reader was such a unique player and provided such unique skills. And that was always the worry that it's difficult to replace a DJ Reader, right? But
you can't.
It's even more difficult to replace a DJ Reader and a Josh Tupou. So I'm a bit worried. I wonder what you guys thought about that.
Yeah, the thing with DJ Reader is he would do this almost every game. He'd take two guys and stand them up and hold them there or something. But you have a guy who
just gap control, man.
Right. You lose that. That's you. And I know our run defense still was not the best last year, and I know DJ was injured. I still would have rather them sign him. Losing that guy is a big loss. We don't have that. And you said it's hard to replace DJ Reader. I don't think you can replace DJ Reader. There's not that many high quality nose tackles in the league right now. With that being said, I'm still waiting. I'm not going to say they messed up or anything yet because of the injuries. We haven't seen McKinley Jackson. We haven't seen Chris Jenkins, which I think both of them are going to play pretty good. Sheldon Rankins and BJ Hill, I think, are good if we get that rotation. Because if you guys remember, when we went to the Super Bowl, we had that rotation with BJ, DJ, and Larry O. So we had that rotation, and Tupo, and he got in there too. So we had that rotation, and I thought we had a shot of having a rotation. If you guys can keep these guys not healthy, ready to go, not wore out. Fresh. Thank you. That's what we're looking for. You keep them fresh. That'll help moving forward. But they're getting injured. That's a problem. And so for me, the book is still out. I'll see what happens, but that is a concern for me moving forward. And it's going to be a concern probably all year. What do you got, Robert?
There's nowhere else to go. You guys hit it like directly on. It's linebacker's been playing great. Secondary's been playing great. I mean, I shouldn't say great. That everyone can take it how they want, right? They've been playing as good as we can hope. And then the defensive line, which they got rid of those players we talked about, right? And we're hoping that the people they replaced them with were going to step up. All of them getting hurt now, so it's like not only did your plan go to shit, we don't have anybody to fill in. So it's a scramble now. It's hard because you can never plan for injuries. So it's hard to go, well, they're dumb. They had their plan. We just got hit with the injury bug. Yeah. Everybody. Mm-hmm. So
all in the same position group. And the thing is, that's why I think it's even a bigger thing that this offense gets going. So we get out in front, and they can't run the ball. They gotta throw it to catch us. So to me, the way you fix the run game is you go out and outscore them, and you get 2 scores up on them, which we should. I know it's the Commanders, and I'm not trying to look past them, but we should get out there and boat race these guys. Now we'll see. Now one thing I do want to bring up, we brought defense up. I think this guy right here, Cam Taylor-Britt, who is the second highest graded cornerback in Week 2, 89.6. I thought last year before he got injured was on his way to a Pro Bowl season. I think that catch alone will put him in the Pro Bowl, possibly All-Pro, because he made that highlight catch where everybody's going, "Ooh, you remember he did that? You remember he did the OBJ?" And man, he's been playing really good. And the Pro Bowl is a popularity contest. It's more of the one to get its All-Pro. I think he's got a shot at getting both of them.
Yeah, if he keeps playing like that and he keeps shutting people down, and the Chiefs fans want to show up and be like, he got toasted by Rice. I don't know what the hell was going on there.
Only reason he got toasted because he slowed down. He didn't. Yeah. If you replay it, and he still damn near tipped the ball. I don't care what anybody says.
Clearly slowed down. I said it as soon as he does. And that was before they even kind of highlighted him slowing down. I was like, it looked like he kind of pulled up for something, almost like he thought he had safety. I don't know what was, and like you said, he still almost got to it. That's how athletic he is. So as long as he keeps doing what he's been doing, he's in line for some good recognition this year.
Now, Paul, what's your thoughts on the other cornerback? Why can't I think of his name? Dax Hill. What's your thoughts? Yeah, what's your thoughts on Dax Hill?
I agree with you guys about CTB. I think he's a great guy. First and foremost,
he's awesome.
Great character, brings a lot of. His nickname's Juice by name, Juice by nature, all the rest of it. Great bloke. Love him. I always think with him though, he always gives you a chance. And I think he has shown improvement this year. That sort of one-handed catch there, that interception was just
ridiculous.
We had a meet-up this weekend in the pub, and I think everyone kind of looked at each other and thought that was a PBU, right? He just kind of battered it away. And then he came down with the ball, and we just looked at each other and went,
And he didn't even.
That just happened.
He didn't even brace, and he didn't even brace himself off the receiver. He didn't even touch the receiver. He just jumped up and snatched that.
Brilliant.
It was like somebody drew the ball in his hand. It was just stuck, stuck.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
But then, as you say, he got beat early for a touchdown, and there's no getting away from that. But I have been really impressed with the pass defense this year in the back end. That was one of the spots where I worried about, along with the defensive line, and you could argue that they've sorted out the back end. Geno Stone, Von Bell look much more solid. CTB, and also Dax Hill. He made an incredible pick. I love Dax Hill, I have to say. I feel sorry for him because I don't know what his best position is, and I don't think throughout his career he has a chance to.
I think they might have found it. Honestly,
let's just put it this way: he has a chance to make kind of cornerback his starting position. He made an incredible pass breakup in the end zone against Kansas City. He's got the recovery speed. He's got the athleticism. He's a fucking first round pick, man.
And the rum's kicking in.
There's a first.
Oh, man, it really is. 11:33 on a school night, Jeff, and I'm going to be a right old mess tomorrow. But yeah, I really like Daxter. I like the way he's kind of really settled down into that position. I like the fact that DJ Turner, who I was a big fan of coming out of the draft, he got his interception against KC, but it was nullified because of Deshaun Anthony again. I like Josh Newton. I think he's got some ability and some big play ability as well. Got the so I'm much more confident about the secondary. I think that they've really done a nice job in supplementing.
Paul, real quick, sorry to cut you off on the Dax Hill thing. I think I feel bad for him having to get moved around, early in his career too.
Yeah.
The way I'm just hoping that it kind of forces his career or forces like the kind of where he's at on the field, right, with Lou, is that he's just a more versatile piece now, right? He's played safety. He's seen the game from safety. He's obviously played corner. He's playing, really well for having made that change. So I just hope that all of that kind of mess early in his career just comes back to make him a little bit more of a versatile piece for the defense.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt with his athleticism or his athletic ability, and I'm always impressed with Dax's recovery speed. It's just unbelievable.
He's athletic as hell.
So I think if he can get that kind of skill set down at kind of starting corner, which at the moment he has, I think he's been quite impressive, on the down
for not playing it as his main position. I think he's
from the naked eye. I'm not talking about. I'm
Right.
not bringing PFF or stats or whatever, but just from the naked eye, he's looked pretty good. And you want him to succeed. He just seems like such a nice guy, you know what I mean? And
Exactly.
you want to root for him.
Exactly.
But no, I've been impressed with the way they've sorted out the secondary, because that was a legitimate cause for concern. Now, if they can just sort out that defensive line, because it's not just the defensive tackles. Again, a lot of people have been posting stats about pass rush win rate, and basically Trey Hendrickson, who has been unbelievable these past couple of games,
beast.
Is like
blackout
30%, and then you're getting like
6
down to here.
We need Joseph Osai to step up.
And then like people are Joseph Osai. Let's talk about Joseph Osai just for real quick. Right?
Go ahead.
I really like the guy. I think he's a nice guy, and you want to root for him. And he was brought in. He sacked Tom Brady on one of his
first
snaps.
sack. Yeah,
got injured. To say he's been on a roller coaster is an understatement, right?
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Kings Island roller coaster, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, man. But his speciality is pass rush. But he's got a 0% rate. He hasn't kicked on the way we
Which
want
is
him to.
disappointing so far.
Just imagine, right, if Trey Hendrickson goes down, right, which he probably will do for a couple of games here and there, because he has done. I'm just being realistic, Jeff.
Darn it, Paul. There's a knock on everything again. I got to knock on my wood again.
Oh shit! It's been an hour. It might not be good anymore.
Hey, those pills work pretty good.
Would, to be honest with you. But anyway, I think what. There's not a lot behind Trey Hendrickson in terms of power rush, and that worries me. I need to see Sheldon Rankins sort of stepping up, because he's a really good player. I need to see him getting to the quarterback a little bit more.
And hopefully Jenkins is coming back. They were testing him last week, weren't they? Seeing how he was feeling.
Yeah, we need Miles Murphy to come back. And
Murphy,
we need Chris Jenkins to come back, and we need McKinley to come back, and then suddenly we're back to full strength, right?
Whoa! Now we're talking.
And that's when we kind of can evaluate properly.
Exactly.
Now, who knows? Lawrence Guy might be like a really solid signing, because you're not going to get much off the street at this stage.
There's a reason they're on the street.
They've probably done as good as they can in terms of getting someone off the street. So yeah.
Hey, it's bad. I saw someone talking on it's probably Facebook. I saw it briefly about bringing Geno Atkins back. I'm like, God, how he hasn't played in 4 years, and that's how bad we are on the defensive line.
Yeah,
Mate,
awesome.
first of all, don't go on Facebook for shit, and then
I was gonna say that's somebody who's drinking their tea at 11:30 at night, Paul.
Yeah, their
Exactly.
tea.
The tea.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, God, Gino was good, wasn't he?
Oh, dude, Gino was awesome. Yeah, he was.
love
I hope he gets in the Hall of Fame. I hope he does because
Do you think he's got a
if
chance?
they don't have
You
Geno
see,
Atkins, you don't have Aaron
released,
Donald.
they released the opening kind of first 160 odd players on the short list, the long list of and obviously Willie's there, which you would hope he'd get.
He better get in this year.
Hey, he better be at the end of that list.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's on that list, but
And we need to get Corey on that list too. Well, he is on the list. We gotta get him up there.
Chad as well. I didn't see Corey. I've got to go back and see Corey. Should we just bring this in right now? I'm happy to go on for however long you want, guys. So don't worry about that. I have to say, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
No, you've been called Mr. Cincinnati in.
You call me that.
No, Cat did. I was just responding to Cat. What you've done, right, in kind of helping Corey Dillon back into this fan base is nothing short of incredible. And I just want to say thank you for doing that, and also, let's face it, statistically. Easy for me to say. Statistically, he should be in the Ring of Honor, and he's got a good shout for the Hall of Fame as well. Quite frankly,
he should be that too.
But certainly the Bengals Ring of Honor, he's the best Bengals running back of all time.
That's what I would say.
think you have played a bit of a part in that. I know you will want to play this down, but I want to say, if I was wearing a cap, I would be doffing it to you right now because I think you've done an incredible
My Corey
job.
cap.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that! I want
know.
8061. What's that yardage, baby?
Yeah, I need to get one.
I got the whole 28. We got Houday.
Yeah.
We got some Ring of Honor in there. Ooh,
We need
Nice.
Robert. Talk to me. I need to get that cap. But yeah, Jeff, you've done an incredible job in kind of reintroducing and kind of and I'm sure that Corey feels it as well because I'm not sure how he felt with the fan base and the club itself, but yeah, Jeff.
Well, I appreciate it, Paul. I mean, like I said, thanks, brother.
Cheers to you.
Cheers back at you, brother. I appreciate it. Like I said,
An amazing job, and I
water.
think this is what fan activism and fan movement can do. Because I think, as I say, I think he probably would have been in the Ring of Honor anyway because of his stats.
oh yeah, he was getting in. Yeah,
But you just given him that little push, and I think you've done an outstanding.
like I said, he's the one that did it on the field. And like I said, I'm just some dude who's a crazy Bengals fan and they got a podcast, and he decided he wanted to come on here every week. So that's all I did. All I did was give him the platform, and it went from there. And Who Day Nation did it from there.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Like I said, Who Day Nation took it from there. So.
Yeah, without that stupid podcast, he wouldn't have been out there, man.
Right, exactly. And hey, he's going to be here this weekend.
These guys need a little bit of a push, and I think I'm sure Corey really appreciate. I think these guys really do appreciate when you talk them up. It's like that. They, what the Bengals are like. They don't like, or at least they didn't.
They're getting better. They're getting better.
Yeah.
They're getting better.
Well, I know from talking to Corey, he said that. He said he just didn't know how the fan base even, thought about him.
Like I'll put this: when he came here last November, I think he was a little nervous. He wasn't sure how it was, and I just remember the last night that he was there. Where were we at? We were somewhere. It was after the Bengals game, and he was just like, "This has been an amazing weekend." I think he was just in awe of the love that he got. And I told him, I told you, I was like, people love you. I said, most of us understood why the hell you left. Like, we wanted you to go get that ring. It wasn't going to happen here. We understood. You gave us your all. You never sat out a game. You were always the best player or one of the best players on our team. Because put Willie in there too. They were the two best players on our team. I was like, and that's what people remember you by. That's what I always want people to remember Corey by. Don't forget about all the other crap. The bullshit doesn't matter. Remember what Corey Dillon did on the field for us when we had some of the shittiest teams in the NFL. The dude
So bad.
Dude played his ass off every single freaking game.
He's an amazing player. He's the best running back in Bengals history. Let's face it. I am a child of the 80s. I'm not ashamed to admit that. James Brooks is one of. There's a trifecta, right?
He's got to get in next. Yeah.
I love James Brooks.
There's David Fulcher and there's James Brooks. Those are my three favorite players of all time, right? And I will have an argument with anyone that who kind of says James Brooks shouldn't be in the conversation for the best running back of all time. But you have to say that Corey was that beautiful combination of size and speed, power and agility. He was incredible, and
he could do everything.
And I love James Brooks growing up too, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but the teams he was playing on were pretty good.
And the offensive lines.
The offensive lines have some good players there, So Corey, like we just said, right? A lot of it was, if he wasn't running to the right side, then he was doing it all himself.
Yeah. I think that's a brilliant point, Robert. James Brooks was in a team with Munoz, Montoya, Kozersky, Reimers, all these, Rodney Holman at tight end, all these like absolute studs. And he could do it all. Him and Icky, obviously.
I was saying they could give it to Icky too to get Brooks some rest.
Well, and the thing is,
exactly. But I would also maintain that Brooks was an incredible player.
Oh, he was. Absolutely.
But Harold Green was good, man, as well. And Natty Ron as well, says in the chat. Harold Green.
Harold Green. Hell yeah.
Harold Green. When I was working over here, there was a guy that run the New York Jets kind of magazine or something like that, fanzine or whatever. And at that stage, I had no involvement in any Bengal stuff. But do you remember the silent film star Harold Lloyd? Do you remember that? Do you remember him?
Silent film star? No, I don't.
Yeah, there was a silent film star, again, Sherman.
I thought you said a child of the 80s. I didn't know you meant 1880s.
No. There's a guy called Harold Lloyd who was as big as Chaplin in the kind of...
Chaplin I've heard of. I've heard of Charlie Chaplin.
So, anyway, this kind of story is not going very well because no one... Let's just move on. Wilcox. Yeah, he was good. Solomon was good. He was
I went to broadcasting school with Solomon Wilcox.
Oh, Solly.
He's a nice dude as well.
He is. He's awesome. All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead. We've been on for an hour and 25 minutes, and I know it's late for you, Paul, and I'm gonna go eat some dinner. I gotta get up tomorrow.
I could go on if you.
Trust me. Hey, when you get here and we're at the pub, we can talk all night. It's gonna be a great time. I cannot wait.
We'll go live. We'll turn it off. We'll go live again as people can see the progression of the tea of the tea party.
Yeah, exactly. Do me a favor.
It's so funny, isn't it, that tea you can, as a British person, you can work that into so many different.
Yeah, we don't have that.
I'll let you into a little secret. So a couple of years ago when we first came over, I got an audience with Elizabeth Blackburn, right? And just for like 5-10 minutes. And I thought, well, this occasion deserves some sort of, auspicious thing, right? I need to kind of step up to the plate here. And I made her a tea time mug so she could drink her cups of tea in her own tea time mug, and she still has that. I don't quite think she understood the significance of tea time, but still, yeah. Tea offers us Brits a completely unending kind of fucking
we don't get that here over the States. It'd be nice.
Cup of Joe. Cup of Joe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you've got that.
Get Jackie your coffee. You can do that. All right. So people are asking.
Hey, real quick. Let me. Anybody got these hats? Bengals on the brain.
Hang on a second. Here. Let's do it this way.
There you go.
Now show it. There you go. Now show
There
it.
we go. Hey, got the limited edition CD hats for the Ring of Honor. Bengals on the brain. There's only about 20 or so left. We're doing a meetup at Midwest Best Barbecue on Sunday to watch some games, and we'll be giving out some hats or hat pickup there. So get your hat, come out and see us, watch some games.
You gotta save me one. I gotta get that.
Robert,
for
I
me.
need
got
to
you.
talk to you
Paul,
about that.
I'll talk to you guys afterwards for sure.
Yeah, I got you.
need to talk to you. Yeah, amazing. I mean, this is great, isn't it? Like what fans can do and how we do it. And Jeff does this every couple of. I mean, Jeff, the last time I spoke to you, you had no. What the fuck is this kind of warline shit that you're doing at the moment?
Oh, when you come in town, if you guys are on Tuesday nights, you gotta come down and do a live show. And I'm glad you brought that up. Perfect segue, Paul. It's a live sports talk at Moorline Lager House every Tuesday from 6 to 8. They got the happy hour starts at 3. They extend it all the way to 9. You got $5 drafts, house wines, drinks, and $2 off your appetizer. And you come hang out with me.
Let's say the last October, the week in October, I think there might be a few British boys down there.
Hey, come on down.
Shouting obscenities at you.
That's all right. It's a YouTube show. We can do whatever we want there. Plus,
Exactly.
hey, I got my own tailgate now. The Mercedes-Benz
God, I
Fort
feel
Mitchell.
this is a segue that you.
Yeah, at
Look at
Moorline
that.
Lager House.
Set it
Pre-game
up for him.
experience. Yeah, it's a Mercedes-Benz at Fort Mitchell Club at the Moorline Lager House. A pre-game experience. It's 3 hours before the game. Paul, it's only $75 to get in, but it's an open bar, dude. Open bar, dude.
$75. You're on a laugh, aren't you? Gee,
Yeah.
70
And it's not only that. You get a buffet. They got shrimp. They had crab cakes. They had chicken wings. They had all kinds of good stuff. So, yeah, you guys have to.
Well, this is
come
the
down.
weird thing, right? Believe it or not, I am not I am an Olympian sort of body.
Duh. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am a vegetarian, so when people talk to me about Midwest barbecue, who are obviously fantastic,
delicious.
they do, and wings and all this shit, I don't eat that kind of.
Oh, dude, you got to make an exception because Midwest Best is the best here.
Basically, I'm just
Dude,
setting up all the.
You're doing a great job, Paul. I should have you as my co-host.
He's doing a great job by saying where he's not going to be.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we would like to meet the Midwest barbecue guys. Actually, I think they seem really.
Hey,
good
we
people.
can.
Moorline is an amazing place. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just fun to come. I mean, so privileged to be in Cincinnati every year and just to check out what new stuff is opened and new stuff has.
Well, just wait when we get the new practice facility and the new see all that stuff.
Okay, I know that you want to go, but I don't, so I'm going to carry on. I don't care. You can cut me the fuck off, but I'm not. I'm carrying on. What do you think? Now, I am an outsider looking in, right?
Right.
What do you think about all the new kind of renders in terms of the stadium and the new riverfront area? What do you think? And also, I saw various tweets saying that the Cincinnati, Hamilton County is not kind of playing ball too much. What do you?
Well, they're putting
from an
like one.
outsider looking in, what is from a Cincinnati perspective? What do you think of this at the moment?
Well, the
Maybe
city
this is too late to open this.
The city, I think, is putting I think it's $1 billion. I think is what they're doing
Yep.
on the upgrades, and I love the upgrades. The only thing I don't like is they're taking away the. So what's the coolest thing about going to practice for me is you can see the players walk from the stadium to the practice, and you can literally be 10 feet from your favorite player. And for me, you can go up on the bridge and you can watch practice. Well, once they build all this shit,
right?
all that's going away. Bengals Bridge Crew is going away because they're building stands right where I stand to go watch it.
That was always going to happen.
Oh, eventually, yeah, because they won't let me video or anything up there anymore. I might be
Well, they're
able to
not.
slide
They're
this
not.
side.
What happens
No.
if you videos? Will someone come up to you and say,
Oh, they have a security guard. Yeah, they have a security guard up there.
too late?
Yeah. They say it's not for me, but it's for me.
Can I say this as well?
A Jeff Guard.
Pat McAfee, what a wanker. Can I say that?
You can say that, yes, absolutely.
Right, we move on. But also, I like the designs, and I think
I love it. I do.
I've never thought that Paycor or Paul Brown, whatever you want to call it, has been a bad stadium.
No.
I love the idea that it can be upgraded, and I love the kind of.
I don't want it to move. I like it right where it's at because the way we have the banks set up with the banks is in between the baseball stadium and the football stadium. It's perfect. The next thing I would like them to do is tear down the Coliseum. I still call it the Coliseum. It's First Star Center, whatever the hell they call it now. Our indoor arena, and build us a bigger one and a newer one in that same spot, so we can get more stuff to our city, like hopefully maybe a hockey team or an NBA team or something like that. But just in general, we can get more. We can get more events here if we have a updated indoor arena. And to me, it'd be perfect to have it right down there because I think they can still fit it in. They figured out how to put the freaking baseball stadium in a wedge, if you guys remember.
In the middle of Synergy or whatever the hell they call it at the time.
Right. So they can figure out how to get a new arena where the one is now. So we'll see. But yeah, to answer your question, I love it.
Jay Brady down there, haven't they? And but I agree, Jeff. I think there's a real opportunity because, like, you look at there's so much sort of building sites and cement works. Forgive me if I'm wrong. There's a temporary, practice facility.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm one of those people. I mentioned McAfee because I've always disliked him intensely, but also the fact that he seems to be zeroing in on the Bengals at the moment, which makes me dislike.
Which is weird because he's got Pac-Man on his crew. You would think Pac-Man would be like.
Pac-Man hasn't been on in a while, so I don't know if him and Pac are still vibing or not.
Oh yeah.
No, he's not been on for a while. The thing is that. Maybe this is a cultural thing, and forgive me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's a British American thing, and particularly me, and an American thing. I quite like the fact that they have to cross the road. And
I like it because we can see them
around the corner.
Yeah,
I like the fact that we're not like the Cowboys, where they have this like space age,
greedy.
For me personally, money doesn't talk. It's not like you don't have to have this massive thing to be.
I'll put it to you this way, Paul.
You know what I mean?
Once they build all that and they get rid of the concrete facility, it's going to make the riverfront look even better. So
there's a lot of green space down there.
Yes, I love. It's going to tie in with everything that they've already built, and the coolest thing is, I love. Because you fly into Cincinnati, you got to fly into Kentucky, but which I still think that's funny as hell. But when you're driving to Cincinnati and from Kentucky, you come through that cut in the hill.
That cut,
all of a sudden you see the city. It's like, oh, and now you're going to see all the screen.
Can I say something rude here?
What?
That drive down the hill and through the cut, when you see Cincinnati for the city of this, down that. I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name of the road, the highway there.
75.
Oh,
right.
That gets me hard.
Now he's got wood.
That's Paul's pill.
The best view.
Cincinnati, baby.
Oh my God.
It is. As someone who's, I come back, obviously, flying in, and I still come around and I stop what I'm doing if I'm not driving, and I'm like, there it is. I'm home. I'm back.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
I'm just sort of semi-joking here. Semi is probably not the right word.
Or you got semi-wood, one of the two.
But I do think, genuinely, that is one of the greatest views in the world. And, a lot of people, when we've come through from CBG down that cut, and the guys see Cincinnati for the first time, I'm lucky because I've seen it a few times now.
Yeah.
But when those guys who've not been to Cincinnati before see that view, they're like, oh, nanny, let me at it. An incredible thing to see, but also I still get shivers just kind of like.
I do too. Whenever I'm coming home, I'm like, yeah, there it is. There's my city. Like, let's go.
Right, like you're coming home, right? And I've got ties in Louisville as well, so I like Northern Kentucky. And
now, hey, I got a place for you to go. A really good view is two of it. Have you been to the parks around here? You got to check out Mount Echo Park. That's a great view of the river and the city. And what's the one across in Kentucky?
DeVue.
DeVue. DeVue Park is awesome. You'll see a great view of the riverfront and everything. That's probably the best view, to be honest.
Really? What
Yes.
is that on the Kentucky side
That
of the river?
DeVue Park
Yep.
is on the Kentucky side, yeah.
Right. Okay. Right.
So yeah, next time you guys.
I think obviously you're so focused on Cincinnati, and then you understand that Covington's an amazing place. I went exploring in Newport. The first time I went, that was an incredible little town.
Did you find the FC bar they got there?
Sorry, say again, Jeff.
I said, did you find the FC Cincinnati bar they have there?
What, in Newport?
Yeah, it's here in Newport.
No, I didn't find that.
I think it might be in Covington. That one might be in Covington. Yeah, you have to check that out. It's pretty cool.
I always loved Covington. I've been there before, and I loved going to lunch at Otto's and walking up and down. It's just a lovely little town, and there's a lot to like in Cincinnati. And I know
that whole area from the banks and across, how you can just kind of walk across the bridge as they keep fixing that whole area up.
When I first came to Cincinnati, Robert, me and my then partner parked in Covington, had a day in Covington, and then we walked across to Roebling from the Kentucky side, and just seeing like the Paul Brown Stadium as it was then, it was like some sort of I don't know.
Hey, Paul, that place.
I literally cried. It was just like anyway, whatever. Yeah.
You need to walk across the Purple People Bridge and go check out Newport on the Levee. They fixed that all up again.
Yeah,
that's really cool too.
The levee, yeah, that's
good.
It
was. They had that before they had the banks, and then it kind of
spurred. Yep.
Yeah, now it's coming back in. We were over there about 3 weeks ago. It's pretty cool. Anyway, with that note, I'm gonna kick you out, Paul, because I'm gonna go eat some dinner. But dude.
It's Coney time for me.
Yeah, hey, tell everybody, because people keep asking where your YouTube show. You got a YouTube show, podcast? You want to plug something here before I let you go?
Oh, me?
You, Paul.
Okay, right. Okay, so we do a weekly podcast called Cincinnati, and that is where you'll find us on Twitter at @Houday_UK. We're on Facebook, Bengals UK. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Bengals_UK, sort of variations of that theme there in each social media channel. All right, Natty Ron, I'm awake. Okay, give me a chance. We do a weekly podcast. We do lots of, as you know, we have lots of guests. We're very lucky to get lots of cool guests, and we talk shit every week. Like most Cincinnati Bengals podcasts.
So we do best. We talk shit.
A lot of shit talking.
We do occasionally an online tailgate every week before the games on Sunday.
Occasionally every week.
Well, yeah, I know that's a bit of contradictions, but we started doing them for a couple of years, but they're, So what the idea is that we try and kind of take all the elements of an in-person tailgate and put them online. So, for instance, we'll be talking to like people cooking stuff as we talk. We'll be previewing the game. We'll be getting a bit of live music as well if we can. But that's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit this year. But so we are. Yeah, check us out on the social stuff. That's probably the best.
All right, Paul. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Go finish that bottle of rum and get some sleep, and I'll see you.
Well, if I finish the bottle of rum, I'm not getting to sleep.
Well, I will see you for the Eagles game, man. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so much fun.
I'll see you then too.
Robert, what a lovely surprise, man. It's really good to see you. Jeff, thank you so much for inviting me on. I know I talk a lot of shit.
Hey, you're good. Hey, you're a good guest. You're a good dude. I like having. You're the kind of people I like having on.
Cool. Well,
anybody wants to talk about rum and wood, baby?
There you go.
I wish you guys the best, and as I say, we'll be back in. Well, we'll be back mere miles away from you guys at the end of October, and we've got our own. Check us out because we've got lots of kind of 10-year anniversary stuff going throughout the year. So do come and say hello and follow us and engage with us. It'd be great to talk to you guys.
We'll do. Sounds good, Robert. Or Robert Paul. Too many names here. Houday, brother.
Houday.
All right, Robert. You want to plug your hat again for I'll let you get out there.
All right, one more time. Ring of Honor CD hat. There's a couple left. Got some stats on there. 8061. Everybody knows that. Corey's yardage. BengalsOnTheBrain.com. You can get the hat. There's a few left. Pick up Midwest Best Barbecue on Sunday. We're going to watch some games out there. Come out and get your hat. Maybe Corey will sign it for you. I don't know. He's kind of a cool guy. So other than that, man, let's go out there and get this dub on Monday. Jeff, thanks for having me on, brother. I appreciate it. Keep an eye out. I got some stuff coming up and no shows yet.
All right, sounds good. All right, Robert, who day?
Who day?
All right, guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Go check out Paul and Bengals UK. They're awesome, awesome. And, like, literally, he knows what he's talking about. So it's not bullshit. I already plugged, Midwest Best, so let me check out there. Let's plug Meyer Windows and Doors. Check them out at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. Like I said, I got them in my house. Make sure you get them in yours. Also, my West Side peeps. This really would be an English pub, but it's a West Side pub. So West Side pubs are awesome. So you got to go check out Hail Mary's, your ticket to the game, right in the heart of Cheviot. Free parking, beer specials, food trucks. It's an awesome place to go watch the game. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Tomorrow I got Bengal Sands on, and then it's Friday, and then we're getting closer and closer to game day. Corey Dillon's going to be in Saturday. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Bengals going to win. Bengals by 100. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
They still gotta play us. Let's go, baby. Woo!
Hey, don't run that ball on the one Hubbard, showed you how that go down. Feeling like Santino, tell him we want all the smoke now. We ain't snooping that commercial, we don't put no smoke down. Plus we back and you can't hide, so it ain't nowhere safe to go now. We always gon' turn up in that jungle every time. How we ain't gon' win when we loaded in with 9? Plus T just came in signed, so the city gon' be fine. Jamar say he open every time and he ain't never lied. Look at how we win at it, the size of the old line. Giving Burrow extra time should be a federal crime. Hey, we right back on that path again. Put the division back to the test, they won't pass again. Orlando and Trent Brown, that's the Tower Twins. Feel like we only getting better as we stacking wins.
And we stacking.
Giuseppe in for 6, that's a gritty again. AFC North battles getting gritty again. It's Yoshi second year, we just brought Burton in. Vaughn back to ring some bells, get the cracking.